Okay, so today we are going to learn about the circle. So what is the equation of a circle? All right, cool then. So we're going to look at the mini lesson. And now I'm going to show you what the equation of a circle looks like. So you see this one? This one is called the center radius form of an equation of a circle. So you see you have x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. Okay, what does that mean? Easy. We're already familiar with x squared and we are familiar with y, okay, y squared. Now r stands for the radius square, okay? Now watch this. It's not that difficult. This is another variation of the equation of a circle. Now, what you're going to do is simple. I'm not gonna get into detail of how to derive this, okay? Just know something. When the center is at 0, 0, then we use this equation, all right? This equation. When the center is not at 0, 0, then we're gonna use this other equation, okay? And for example, these right here are going to be the opposite of the numbers that you get for the center, and it looks like this. See, they gave you h and k as the center. Well, we're gonna use negative h and negative k, but in reality you're gonna be using the opposite. That's what I want you to understand right now. So let's take a look at this circle right here. This circle has a center at 0, 0, okay? So the equation would be x squared plus y squared, okay, equaling the radius. What is the radius? The radius is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units, so the radius is 5. So this is 5 squared. You understand that? Okay then. Now when I rewrite it, I'm gonna write x squared plus y squared equal to 25. And that will be my equation of the circle. That is when the center is at 0, 0. If the center is not at 0, 0, okay, like for example here the center is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the center is at, okay, the center is at 4, 4. Okay, so when I write my equation of the circle, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like x, okay, what is the opposite of 4? Negative 4, right? So it's x minus 4 squared plus y minus 4 squared equaling, okay, and the radius is still 5, so equaling to 5 squared, which is 25. All right, so now let's move on to look to some examples. All right, so this is the same thing that I just explained to you, okay? So it's your responsibility to read all this. All right, just in case you don't have the handout, then you can watch the video and pause it and read all this. Okay, so let's start doing some problems, okay? So let's read this one, this particular one. So it says, an ambulance company provides services within an 80-mile radius. Okay, so now we know what the radius is of their headquarters. If this service area is represented graphically with the headquarters located at the coordinate 0, 0, what is the equation that represents the service area? Okay, you see, the center is 0, 0, so we're gonna use, you know, which equation. All right, so I'm gonna start my equation. So it's gonna look like this: x squared plus y squared. But now I gotta figure out which of these is the correct choice. What is the radius? The radius is 80. And what is the original formula? Well, the original formula is x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. It's just like the Pythagorean theorem, nothing more. Alright, so x squared plus y squared equal, okay, tell me what the radius, tell me what the number is right here, and I'll give you 1 point. Correct. So you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Oh my God. So this is the answer, choice number 4. All right, let's move on to the next problem. Here, it says, what is an equation of the circle with its center at -3, 5 and a radius of 4? Please. And you got your choices right here. These choices are kind of like scattered all over the place. This is your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice. Okay. Oh, and your fourth choice right here. Okay, and anyway, it's up to you to make the right decision. Let's write the equation. So I have a center of -3, 5. So when we write the equation, we write x plus 3, because I told you we're gonna write on the equation, we're gonna write the opposite of the center. Okay, so it's x plus 3 squared. Okay, plus, and now the y coordinate of the center is 5. So it's gonna be plus y minus 5 and then square. Now, did they tell us the radius? Yes, 4. So remember, y squared, x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. So 4 squared is 16. Okay? So then correct choice is not choice number 4. It's either choice number 1 or number 2. So it's either number 1 or number 2. You make the right choice, okay? Let's continue with this. Number 3, again, looks like a mess, but hey, we know how to write it. So that's what we're gonna do, because we show work even though it's multiple choice. All right, so the center is 7, -3. That's all I need to know. So then for now, so then when I write my equation, I write x minus 7, because that's the opposite, plus y plus 3, because that's the opposite. Okay, you see this, -3. Okay, and now we put the square, equaling, remember that we're gonna be equal to the radius square. So the radius is 4, so this is 16. As simple as that. Okay? All right, let's do some more problems. Okay, the diameter of a circle has endpoints at -2, 3 and 6, 3. Okay, now we're talking a different song right now. We're playing a different song. So let's see, the diameter of a circle has endpoints of this and that. What is the equation of the circle? Okay, it has endpoints. So let me explain this visually. So this is your circle right here, okay? And the circle has endpoints like this. A diameter has endpoints right here and right here. So this is -2, 3, and this one is 6, 3. I'm not saying that these are the real coordinates. I'm just giving you, like, let's pretend. So what do I need in order to write the equation of a circle? I need the center and I need the radius. Well, the center is right here. But what is the center? What formula can I use to find the center? I'm gonna give you 1 point if you tell me. All right, if you got it, you got it. So we're gonna use the midpoint formula. So the midpoint of x and y. Perfect. So how do I find a midpoint? Easy. Is the average of the x's. So -2 plus 6, you add the x's, divide by 2, and you add the y's and divide by 2. So your midpoint is -2 plus 6 is 4 divided by 2, 2, and 3 plus 3 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the center here is 2, 3. Okay, now what else do I need to know? I need to know what the radius is. And the radius is the distance from the center of the circle to a point on the circle. Oh, I need to use the what formula? Give you 1 point? Right, the distance formula. Okay, so I'm gonna calculate the distance from the center, so that's right here, okay, to either this point or this point. Let's take 6 and 3, okay, for the sake of doing it. All right then, so I'm gonna use the distance formula. We already know what the distance formula is, okay, and in my classroom is in the back window or right by the smart board. All right, so distance. So you subtract is the difference in the y square. Again, it's like Pythagoras theorem for everything. So let's see. I'm gonna go from the end point to the center, okay? So it will be 6 minus 2 square plus, and now 3 minus 3 square. You see that? Okay, now, oh, too long, very long. Okay, that equals to the square root of, okay, 6 minus 2 is 4. Square is 16. 3 minus 3 is 0. Square is 0, duh. Okay, so 16 plus 0 is 16, sorry. And the square root of 16 is 4. So the distance is 4. Therefore, the radius is also 4. And now, with the center and the radius, I can write my equation. You see how methodic, how you have to analyze the problem in order to come up to a feasible solution? It's not like, oh, I cannot do it. No. We can. Midpoint, distance, we know that. Okay, so I'm going to write the equation. So it will be x squared. I'm gonna write it right here. Okay, so it will be x squared. No, not x squared, sorry. The center is 2 comma 3. So it's x minus 2, because we do the opposite, plus y minus 3 squared equaling, the radius is 4, so then r squared is 16. Ah, nice. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Which equation represents the circle whose center is negative 2 comma 3 and whose radius is 5? All right, take 20 seconds to give me the answer. Yep, that's your equation. There you go. So you make the right choice or whatever. Okay, once again, what is an equation of the circle with a radius of 5 and a center of 1 comma negative 4? Let's do this. Center is 1 comma negative 4. So I know what the equation will be is x minus 1 squared plus y what? Y plus 4 square equaling to what? Right. So it's equal to 25 because the radius is 5. All right. Cool then. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. So let's see now. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Okay, which equation represents circle O with center 2 comma negative 8 and a radius of 9? All right, so come up with the right choice. Now, at this point, you should be able to do it. There you go. Okay, so let's go on to the next problem. Alright, so problem number 8. Write an equation of the circle whose diameter AB has endpoints, and we have A with -4,2 and B with 4, -4. Alright, so the use of the grid is optional. Well, I am going to use the grid, but of course I'm always going to do it algebraically. So let's do this. So the first point, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, okay? So the first point is -4,2. So -1, 2, 3, 4,2 right here. Okay, that is going to be point A. And now point B is going to be 4, -4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We go down. All right, so this is my diameter. Okay, cool then. So now what am I going to do? Well, I am going to connect the diameter just for the sake of doing it. I really don't have to. Okay, but if I do, I might be able to find a midpoint by observation. So, and effectively, I found the midpoint by observation. The midpoint is right here. Okay, and now, I hope that's the midpoint. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's the midpoint. Okay, so the coordinates of the midpoint are 0, -1. Okay, so these are the coordinates. Now, of course, I need the radius, so I'm gonna use the compass. Okay, so I put one end of the compass, the metal part, in the center, and now the other one I'm gonna put it at one of the endpoints right here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out so you could see better how I do it. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna create a circle. It moved, but you know what, I'm gonna do it this way. It's better. If you grab it like this, it's better. So you grab it again without moving the center. Oh my god. And I got my perfect circle. Alright, let me zoom in again now that I got the circle. And let's see what the radius is. So from the center of the circle, all I have to do is count the horizontal distance or the vertical distance, and I will know what the radius is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the radius is 5. So R is 5. Okay. Now what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to write an equation of the circle with this diameter and this center. Alright, cool then. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So the center is 0, -1. So I'm gonna write the following. I'm gonna write x, okay, plus 0 square. Okay, I write the opposite, but the opposite of 0 does not exist because x minus 0 and x plus 0 is the same thing, plus y, and the other center is -1, so it's y plus 1 square equaling the radius square. The radius is 5, so I'm just gonna write 25 because 5 squared is 25, and that's how I found it. You see, so the use of the grid was actually very helpful. Now let's say I don't have the grid available and I'm supposed to still come up with the equation of the circle. Okay, so we know what point A is, which is -4, 2, and we know what B is, which is 4, -4. To find the center, well, the center of the circle is actually the midpoint of the diameter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the midpoint by using the endpoints here of the diameter. So I say, okay, midpoint of x and y equals to the average of the x's, which in this case are -4 plus, and then 4 divided by 2, and for the y's is 2 plus -4, okay, 2 plus -4, sorry, divided by 2. Okay, so -4 plus 4 is 0, divided by 2 is 0. So the midpoint of x and y is 0, comma, and then 2 plus -4, or 2 minus 4 is -2. -2 divided by 2 is -1. And we have that. Now I am going to find the length, the radius. How do I find the length? Easy. You go from the center of the circle, which is the midpoint right here, to one of the endpoints, either this one or this one. Okay, in other words, you're going either from here to here or from here to here. So I don't know which one you want to choose. I'm going to choose point A just for the sake of doing it. So I'm going to find the distance. Now distance, in this case, I'm not going to call it D, I'm going to call it R, because that's basically what we're finding, the radius. So distance is equal to the square root of, and now we subtract the x's, and then we subtract the y's, and we got to square those things. Okay, so let's start with this. x1, that would be 0, minus x2, which is the x coordinate of the point that I chose, -4, and we square that, plus y, okay, I'm sorry, not y, the y coordinate. The y coordinate of the midpoint is -1, okay, minus, and then the y coordinate of the point that I chose, which is 2, and I gotta square that. Okay, so now we have r equaling to the square root of, well, let's see, 0 minus -4. When you see minus negative, actually it's telling you subtract, but then subtract again. So when you multiply these two symbols, you get a plus. So 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay, square, plus, and then -1 minus 2 is -3 square. Right? Now r, I'm going to put it over here, r equals to the square root of 4 squared is 16. -3 squared is 9. When we add those, we get radical 25. And we know that the square root of 25 is 5. Okay, so we found our radius. Now we can write our equation. Okay, our equation with center 0, -1 and radius of 5. Okay, so x plus 0 square plus y, and then the center is -1, so this is going to be y plus 1 square equaling to the radius square. Now, is there another way of writing this? Of course. X plus 0 is nothing more than x, so you just write x square plus y plus 1, same thing, square equaling 25, and that's it. Okay, so you got it. Perfect. Okay, then let's move on to the next problem. Here it says, which equation represents circle K, okay, this circle K, shown in diagram below. So let's create our equation and then let's actually corroborate with our choices. So the center here is, well, this is 0, 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, 1. Okay, so center is -5, 1. Okay, so far so good. Now let's find the radius. Well, we count the horizontal distance or the vertical. You don't want to go in diagonal because then you're going to have to find the distance formula. So let's see now. 1, 2, 3. The radius is 3. So r is 3. And now I'm ready to write the equation of my line. Okay. So let's see. X plus 5, because this is a -5, so it's going to be the opposite. Plus 5 square plus y, and what is the opposite of this? -1, right? So y minus 1 square equals to the radius that we found. Well, the radius was 3. So this is r squared. So the radius is 9. Okay, so from this you can make your own choice. Okay, so let's see now. More problems right here, not a problem. Alright, so here I'm supposed to, what is the equation of the circle shown in the graph? Alright, so guess what? You got the center, okay? From here to here you're gonna have to find the radius. But guess what? Maybe the radius is given to us with the horizontal distance. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The radius is 5. R is 5. So that's it. You could write your equation, okay? So I'm gonna leave it up to you to write your equation of the line based on the previous problems. Alright? Okay, so you make your own choice. Let's move on to the next problem. Again, what is an equation? Okay, so they give us the center, so I know how it starts. The equation will start with x minus, sorry, let me see. This is -1, -2, -2, comma 2. So this is -2, comma 2. So it's going to be x plus 2 square plus y minus 2 square equaling to the radius. Well, the radius, 1, 2, 3, the radius is 3, so this is 9. Okay? Make your own choice. Here, write an equation of the circle graphed in the diagram below. You already got the center, and the only thing I'm going to help you with is the radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The radius is 6, so r equals 6. You figure out what the center is, and then you write the equation of your line. So do it now. If you do it before I do, then I'll give you 1 point. Alright, this problem 2. Write the equation before I write it, and you get 1 point. Okie dokie, let's move on to the next problem. Okay. So what are the center and radius of a circle whose equation is, and you got the equation right here. Okay. So I know what the center is. The center here is going to be positive A and positive B. So the center, okay, the coordinates of the center are going to be A comma B. Okay, center. Okay, and now I need to find the radius. Well, the equation here is C. This, remember what the equation is. X squared plus y squared equals to r squared. So this is C. Now, let's put it this way. Okay, just in case you don't understand. So you have x squared plus y squared equals 81. Like that. I'm asking you, what is the radius here? The radius is 9. Okay? Because 81, okay, in other words, if you do 9 squared, you're going to get 81. Okay, but what happens when you just have the number 81? Well, what is the opposite of, how do I undo a squaring? Easy, you take the square root. Okay, so then the radius here, since we already have C, right here, the radius is the square root of C, because this is already R squared. You see, it's just the opposite. Alright then, so now try to do the next problem. Let's do the next problem. Okay, so I'm supposed to write an equation of a circle. Okay, sorry, we're not supposed to write an equation. It says the equation of the circle is this one. What are the center and the radius? Okay, the center. X squared is not being subtracted or added to nothing. So I guess the center is 0 for the x, right? And for the y will be what? Good, positive 7. The radius is what? The radius is 4 because the square root of 16 is 4. Remember, this is r squared. Okay. Alright, so now you could do this on your own. What are the center and radius of the circle whose equation is, and they give the equation right here. So do it before I do and I'll give you the point. And I got it. Alright, so you make the correct choice. Let's go on to the next problem. So here it says a circle is represented by the equation, and we got the equation right here. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle and the length of the radius? Again, okay. So let's see. Center. Give me the center, please. What is the center of this radius? I mean, of this radius, of this circle. Okay. And now, what is the length of the radius? Okay. Next problem. So again, they want the coordinates of its center and the length of the radius. Okay, so do it before I do and I give you a point. Six. Yeah, because the square root of 36 is 6, or 6 squared is 36. That's it. Now you make the right choice. Okay. Ooh, it gets fancy right here. Alright, so this is about recognizing which graph represents a circle with the equation. Okay, so we have this equation. So the first thing we're gonna do, guys, is we are going to recognize what's the center and what's the radius. So the center, I'm gonna write it right here. The center is positive 5 comma negative 1, and the radius is, well, this is r squared. So what number square is 9? 3. Now look for one of these who has the center at 5 comma negative 1. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, wow, I gotta get closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 1. And the radius is 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I found my answer. I found my answer. This is the correct choice. So choice number 1. Now, why not the other choices? First of all, the radius here is not 3. The radius here is not 3. The radius here is 3. but the problem is that the center is not at 5 comma negative 1. The center is at negative 5 comma 1. Got it? Okay, cool then. So now you could answer the next question. Number 20. So the equation is right here. So you're gonna tell me right now what is the center of this circle. What is it? All right, nice. Okay. The radius. What is the radius here? 1 point. Hurry up. 5 seconds. The radius is 2. So all you gotta do is locate which of these circles, okay, has a center of 2 comma negative 4 and a radius of 2. I'm not gonna answer it for you. Okay. Alright, let's move on to the next set of problems. Actually, this is the last set of problems, so I'm gonna have to let you do it on your own. Alright, so hurry up. Give me the answer to this problem right here. Center is what? Radius is what? Two, right? Because square root of 4 is 2. Alright, so now make the right choice. And last but not least, we got this one. Okay, so this is the equation. They want you to identify which circle has this equation. So let's do it. Okay, what is the center? Now, why did I put 0 here? Because the y is not being added anything. Oh, okay. What is the radius? Four. Square root of 16 is 4. See, we're going backwards. We're not writing the equation. We're actually doing, we are identifying the radius and the center. All right, so which of these choices is the correct choice? You let me know. The radius here is not 4, okay. Okay, so this is 4 and the center is at negative 2 comma 0. There you go. You can look at it if you want to. See that? Negative 2 comma 0. And then the radius is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it. Nice. Alright, so this concludes lesson on how do we explore circles, writing the equation of a circle. So I'll see you on the next lesson. Bye.